Hello again, and welcome back to Trends. Today I'm with Grammy-nominated singer Norwood Young. Norwood, you're a Grammy-nominated singer and you brought soul to Bangkok.
Yes.
Is it possible to carve out a career as a soul singer and entertainer in Bangkok, given that Thailand is predominantly a Thai language audience?
Well, not only is it possible, I've done it. As vast as Thailand is, it has a little nugget called Bangkok. There's a potpourri of everything, which is foreigners and tourists all know soul music.
Are you performing a residency somewhere?
I do have a residency at a venue called the Abandoned Mansion, which is an amazing, fabulous, gangster-themed. It's absolutely amazing, and I come down the ascending staircase with the spotlight and all that. You feel like you're in a time capsule, but it's glamorous and it's very exciting.
How often do you do that?
Every Saturday night.
Do you have any projects in the pipeline?
I am about to release new music.
What brought you to Bangkok? You don't often find a Grammy-nominated singer that becomes resident in Bangkok.
It was destiny. It's called the Norwood Young Experience, and my band is the Hollywood Soul Band.
Is there another book?
Yes, there is another book. My first book was called Getting Back to My Me. I have to explain what that is. So my me was my passion, which was my music, okay? My music at that time afforded me homes, cars, this, that, and the other, and I got so caught up in that, I lost my me, right? And I was getting known for my stuff, and the attention was on my stuff and not my me. When I picked up and I moved to Thailand, it was because I wanted to be appreciated for my me. So when I came here, unless somebody Googled, they had no idea who the hell I was, but they loved my music, they loved my me. So the new book is about having now a life where I found my me and loving my me again.
And when can we see this book coming
Within
out?
the next year.
Any other talent that we should know about?
Well, we can't talk about it on camera.
Okay. Norwood Young, thank you very much for coming here
Thank
today.
you, David, for asking me.
Career as a soul singer and entertainer in Bangkok, given that Thailand is predominantly a Thai language audience?
Well, not only is it possible, I've done it, okay? What we have to remember is that as vast as Thailand is, it has a little nugget called Bangkok. And in Bangkok, there's a potpourri of everything, which is foreigners and tourists all know soul music. So there is a definite niche for soul music here in Bangkok, and it's just a matter of finding your audience, but it's very, very vast, including the Thais themselves. For instance, if you go to the malls or restaurants, all you hear piped is soul music. So subliminally, there's soul music all over, and people just don't really understand that. But my first month here, by going to the malls and the restaurants, I said, wait a minute, that's all soul music playing. Wait a minute, I'm onto something here. Yeah.
And with your performances, are they classic soul, or do you bring it to contemporary with a bit of hip hop, or what's your repertoire?
Well, hip hop is not necessarily my genre. Because of my experience in music I'm celebrating 40 years in the music industry. 40, yeah. I started very, very young, yeah. And so I grew up in a home of Motown and Mel Torme and Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald. So from the classics to and my recordings, and music today is not necessarily the same. So what I do musically is I take classic songs, particularly soul music, but not all soul music. And because soul is really not specifically only a type of music, soul is a feeling. So if you're singing Mary Had a Little Lamb and you're singing it soulfully from your gut, it's soul music, right? So my repertoire consists of any type of music with a soulful vibe to it.
And are you performing a residency somewhere, or are you performing as sort of pop-up special performances?
Both. I do pop-up, high-end pop-up performances, but I do have a residency here at a venue called the Abandoned Mansion, which is an amazing, fabulous, gangster-themed.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, oh, it's absolutely amazing, and I come down the ascending staircase with the spotlight and all that. It's you feel like you're in a time capsule, but it's glamorous and it's very exciting.
And how often do you do that? Is it weekly? Or?
Yes, every Saturday night I do it. Yes.
And do you have any projects in the pipeline that you can share with us?
Loads of projects in the pipeline. I am about to release new music. And I really can't talk about stuff in the pipeline, but it's coming. It's coming.
With the release of new music,
yes.
Obviously digital format, but is there still a market for putting music out on CD or vinyl? I've seen some Thai jazz singers that have had success in printing vinyl.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm doing vinyl and CDs because, of course, digital, because that's the wave of music. However, for artists, we don't make as much money on streaming. In fact, very little money on streaming. And I also like the concept of being able to put a project in my hands and seeing the artwork and reading the credits and things like that. So it makes the project even more special, you know? So I plan on doing CDs and probably some vinyl as well.
What brought you to Bangkok? And has kept you here? Because you don't often find a Grammy-nominated singer that becomes resident in Bangkok.
It was destiny. It was strictly destiny, and most people would say that I'm crazy because I had never been here, never visited anyone, knew nothing about Bangkok at all. I happened to have been in another part of the world, I think, I don't know, China maybe, and a friend of mine that I was there with, and I decided we weren't going back to America. I'm over America, you know, in terms of residence. And she says, well, Norwood, I think maybe you would love Bangkok. She says, there's nobody like you out there. You know, you'd be in a world by yourself. She said it might be a little harder initially, which it wasn't. So I said, what I got to lose? So I had 4 months left on my lease where I was currently. And I went online, found my first condo, and did a year there, and I was only planning on being here a year. I'm almost 5 years in. Yeah, because I started Norwood Young's Hollywood Soul Sunday brunches that were very, very successful because I found that.
What was the concept of that?
Okay, so Norwood Young's Hollywood Super Soul Sunday brunches, the concept was bringing soul food and soul music together, right? Which is also what my supper club did. And the supper club was always the big picture, and I started with the brunches, right? So when I came here, I did a lot of observing for the first 6 months. And I found that there were Chinese restaurants, French restaurants, Mexican restaurants, all types of restaurants represented except for soul. And I said, I wonder if soul food would work here. And that gave me the idea to start my brunches. And I knew soul music would work because, as I previously said, everywhere you go, you hear it. The Thai people just don't know what the source of it is, you know. So I said, okay, there's an opportunity here for me to bring authentic soul to Thailand. So I did about 6 of them. Each of them sold out. No food left, and I said, okay, we got to step this shit up. Excuse me.
It was amazing that the reception was great.
Yeah.
And so, soul food.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Your interpretation in Thailand? What was on offer?
What do you mean?
I don't necessarily know what real soul food is.
Well, soul food is a plethora of things. From collard greens to black-eyed peas, macaroni and cheese, oxtails, short ribs of beef.
And you offered all of that?
Oh yes, catfish, chicken and waffles, most certainly. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Let's be honest. Food is food, and it's predominantly the same anywhere you go. It's about how you spice it and how you season it, and how it's prepared. You know, so although it is definitely soul food, it's not that different from some Thai dishes, just presented and seasoned a different kind of way. So if somebody says steak, steak is steak is steak. It's just depending on how it's prepared. You know what I mean?
So you had the food,
Yes.
soul food.
Yes.
And then at the Sunday brunch.
So at the Sunday brunch,
you were singing as well.
So at the Sunday brunch, I hosted, which means I came out, sang a couple songs, and then I introduced a few local acts. Then I had a drag show, and so it would rotate. So I did 2 seatings, and then it was also a buffet. The brunches were buffet. The supper club was not.
So if somebody wants to book the Norwood Young show, what does it embrace? It's a set of soul songs, or you bring other entertainers on board?
No. If I am booked, it's as Norwood Young. It's called the Norwood Young Experience, and my band is the Hollywood Soul Band, right? So it's an hour and a half to 2 hours of going on a soulful journey with me, from music from the early 70s to current, and my own music, of course.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And how do they find you? Online?
Yes, I can be
Website,
found.
or?
Yes, I can be found at on Instagram at Just Norwood, on Facebook Norwood Young, on what's the new thing? Next to what's it called? The new one leads to. It's the competition for Twitter. Oh crap! But it's Norwood. Norwood Young. It's there. Yeah.
And hang on, cut for a moment. I've got to think of the last question here. I've asked all of that. Is there another book?
Oh, wow, you did your research. Yes, there is another book. My first book was called Getting Back to My Me, which was basically about a man who lost his way because I had a lot of things, superficial things, cars,
now with
homes.
all the Norwood Young experience in Thailand and all of your Asian sort of experience.
Yes, well, let me get back to the situation. So getting back to my me, I have to decide I have to explain what that is. So my me was my passion, which was my music. Okay, my music at that time afforded me homes, cars, this, that, and the other, and I got so caught up in that I lost my me, right? And I was getting known for my stuff, and the attention was on my stuff and not my me. When I picked up and I moved to Thailand, it was because I wanted to be appreciated for my me. So when I came here, unless somebody Googled, they had no idea who the hell I was, but they loved my music. They loved my me. So the new book is about having now a life where I found my me and loving my me again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And when can we see this book come
Within the next year. I just started writing about a month ago. Yeah.
So we've got soul music, you're an author.
Yes.
Any other talent that we should know about?
Well, we can't talk about it on camera.
Okay. But obviously food, you're passionate in that, bringing soul food to Bangkok.
Yes, and who knows, Hollywood Soul Supper Club may come back.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Yeah.
It's a great concept.
Yes, it was absolutely fantastic, but again, I was getting caught up in other things and not my me. And now I get red flags when I'm losing my me. So I got so caught up in the numbers and the food and the this and the other, I was potentially losing my me again. So I said, nope, let's get out of this and we'll figure it out. So when we have the perfect marriage of people who will allow me to just sing, you know, and check off on the menu, we're good. We're good.
Norwood Young, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you,
today.
David, for asking me.
Thank you to the Monty Inn Hotel for providing this fabulous venue. If you liked this conversation and would like to see more episodes, please like and subscribe. Cut. Brilliant.
Good.
Great. Well, it sounds as though you've got a lot of projects bubbling.
Yeah.